larger. Come get inspired, larger. Feel like a star, larger. Here we're all equal, larger. Still make you fall, larger. Get the legs tossed, larger. Come have some fun, larger. He's the one, larger. You know where to come.
Hello, Curvies. Hello. Can y'all hear me? Yeah, you can hear me. Right on. You hear that? No, you don't, because Mama's sitting in a new chair. Yes, I am. My other chair was squeaky. It's still in the other room, but they got a new gaming chair, and they were like, "Mom, you can use this one since we always use yours." I was like, "Well, thank you very much if I do." Right on. God is great. The omnipresent power that is us, that we are part of, getting to create within and about from. Yeah, that. Isn't it great? You know what else is great? I'm going to start here on larger curves. Oh, yeah. I didn't even get the particulars out of the way. Hello! Smash that like button, smash the subscribe button on your way in. Ring my bell. Ring my bell. So you can get notified next time I upload a video, y'all. And so you can become part of the beautiful curvy community that we're growing over here in the YouTube streets, y'all. We're like 80 away from 3K. 80 away from 3K. It's going to be any day. 80 away from 3K. It's going to be any day. 80 away from 3K. It's going to be any day. 80 away from 3K. It's going to be any day. Sing it. 80 away from 3K. It's going to be every day. Huh? Right on. Right on. Believe, see it, believe it, receive it. You know, you got to put in the work. You got to put in the work. That's why it says faith without works is dead. Because you got to believe and then do some stuff, y'all. You got to believe and then do some stuff. Can I get a 2 in the chat if you believe it? If you know that to be true. If we're participating today. If not, just be you. This isn't a forced participation, but this is a requested event. And you know, on Larger Curves, I deliver. I love helping the people. And I used to be a Girl Scout. So that could be part of why, you know, I want to just help people. If they say, "Oh, can you help with this? Can you do this?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Callie Nola's in the back, y'all. She's about to come up for this open panel on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Or should I say Real Housewives of the Titanic? We'll see, because I don't know if it's full steam ahead or look out, there's an iceberg. You know, I'm not sure what's happening. I'm not sure exactly what's happening, but I know, let me start. That's what I was going to start with, awesomeness, because everything is awesome. These are melanated goddesses. They are doing their best to live their life, I'm sure. This is a version of a reality that they feel like participating for our entertainment. And with that being said, I hope that, you know, everything we say here, while it's all in our opinions, is said with love and a just constructive criticism based off of what we're used to and the magnificence that garnered on average 2 million views a freaking episode to now be this debunked. Is it because they took too long? Is it because the cast shakeup? Is it because the refusal to bring Nene out? Shout out. She just had her first live over there on her YouTube channel. It was awesome. Carlos King and Michelle Atalian were her first guests. and it was very good flow. The scene was nice, the tone was set, and she was as Nene as ever, but like a more mature Nene. Dustin Butler's in the back. We're bringing everybody up. Yep, we sure will. And so let me start with that. So shout out to this beautiful gaggle of melanated goddesses that are peach holders, peach juicers from the ATL. We have Britt Edie, who's really giving me Mia Thornton, you guys. Britt Edie is giving me Mia Thornton vibes. I'm not real sure what it is, if it's just her overbite and her cutouts. I'm not sure. I'm totally not like against her from what Ken did, of course. Nothing to do with, no residual from that. I just like noticed like her demeanor kind of yesterday, the like stalkiness. I don't know. Just like the way she literally moved to me was like kind of Mia. The way she held her drink was Mia. The way, I don't know, it was giving me Mia. I don't know if she's a liar like Mia. We'll find out. And then we have 50 Cent. They dusted 50 Cent's cheekbones off, y'all. They dusted them off. The original Around the Way girl. She was in one of the first Tommy Ford freaking fashion shows in 1999. And she wore this open front, big pocket, like oversized hip hop jacket. It was beautiful. Her and her cheekbones. And then we have Juice Adore. So I'm not sure who's a bigger liar this season, if it's going to be Drew or Porsha. I bet they'll give each other a run for their money, though. And then we have a woman, I believe her name is Angela, but I know her wig was loose. Not sure. And she seems a little, she was like, put some respect on his name. I'm like, I don't even know him, ma'am. I keep thinking Charles Barkley every time somebody says your husband's name. So squeeze me. And then we have freaking Kelly. I love a firecracker in a small case. I don't mind Napoleon complexes at all, as long as you keep that shit over there. But Kelly, I love how she came in hot. I don't feel like it was NECA hot. Like I feel like NECA came in way too hot and all over nothing. Whereas I feel like Kelly is bringing a question everybody's asking. It's on the tip of everybody's tongue. Why you do that? And so for her to ask, that's no problem. And then we have Porsha arriving late with way too many baby hairs for over 40, bitch. I told you there was a new rule 2 years ago. No, it was only last year. It was 2024. There was a new rule. If you're over 40, all these extra baby hairs are not as required. I'm not sure what you're trying to give. Your forehead is a canvas, but that's a lot. You saw what happened to old girl's wig. That's a lot of maintenance. That's a lot of like, can I even wipe my brow properly in this place? No. Anyway, but then try to steal Shamea's shine. And then did you guys hear in that Breakfast Club interview that Porsha did that she said that she put Shamea up for center peach? And we've already talked about if that has anything to do with her lack of position in Simon Gobadia's house, because the cease and desist says Bravo can't enter. So anyway, and then we have, to me, the queen, Shamea Morton. I'm not sure what her last name is. But it has like an M and then a J. So I don't know if you go, I'm not sure. But he's in HVAC. Keep telling y'all, if you have any wayward youth or somebody even in their early whatever, you can be whatever you want whenever you want to do it. There's a lot of ways to make money if you don't just feel like getting into finance. But electricians, HVAC, and plumbers write their own checks. People will pay you anything to make it hot, to unclog the toilet, okay, and to turn the lights back on. They'll pay you anything, okay? So those are great industries, and her husband picked one enough to get her their own street. There was no number on the street, you guys. I'm amazed. She's been playing second fiddle to a lady that didn't even know how many days there are in a year, and who thinks the Underground Railroad might be a freaking, oxymoron or something. I'm not sure. But she was like, and you've been playing second fiddle to that? And did you know she can sing and she can host? And it's not like a forced amazing. Great. Remember when Porsha was trying out? For the show with Candy. I'm coming to you guys right in 2 seconds, you guys. When she was trying out and she was like just trying so hard, Shamea be singing like with the A in the middle, not a S-I-N-G, a S-A-N-G. She be saying it like that, y'all. She be undulating. She be doing those things. And she has a husband that loves her. You know, I'm all about hashtag Black love. And she has a beautiful family. And she loves being around her family. She doesn't need it to be about all the fluff and the finance, but she does like her life, and she's been playing it very modest. Second fiddle to Porsha. I'm like, does she have something on you? That you've been playing second fiddle to her? Like, what's this all about? Anyway, Shamea is the queen so far to me. She's the breakout queen of the season, of the freaking season. And the fact that she's so freaking humble to play second fiddle to Porsha makes me love her even more. Makes me love her even more. So I'm going to bring up Callie, Nola, and Dustin Butler. They're the first people to join the freaking panel today. The link is in the chat. This is a requested event. Please participate, Curvies. Thanks for being here. Smash all my buttons because you know I love smashing. So
How you doing? How you doing, Larger?
Oh, I'm excellent. How are you, Dustin?
I'm doing okay. I did. Been a rough week. My uncle passed away on Monday. So,
No way!
Yeah, he passed away on Monday.
Oh my gosh, Dustin, I am so sorry. Cyber hugs, man. I am so sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry to do that.
Yeah,
Wow.
He passed away. Passed away on Monday.
Wow.
Monday morning. So, yeah.
Well, I'm praying for your family and for you guys to get through this and to like just love each other and everything and get through this the way you guys need to. So yeah,
Thank you.
Being able to still come up. I hope. Are you going to be able to participate?
I'm gonna get through it as much as I can. I'm gonna get through it as much as I can. Yeah, but
Right
I'll be here. I'll be here.
Right on. Did you watch Real Housewives of Atlanta?
Oh yeah, I'm watching it for Porsha this season. Now I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't watch it if it wasn't for Porsha. That's one reason I'm watching it this season, because I think Porsha is going to bring it this season, and I can't wait to see what the rest of the season is going to bring to it. No, I can't wait to see what. I really can't wait to see what the rest of the season is going to bring.
Right on. Have you been a day one watcher, Dustin?
The only time I didn't watch it was in Porsha didn't watch it last season.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, I can see that. You know, I love Porsha. I wasn't mad at the whole Fallon Simon thing. I wasn't really mad at that. And I feel like it's a valid question. But
my question is to you, Larja, is what do you think about Porsha being back after all this time off and this time away?
It kind of makes me feel like it was all a dream. I used to read RHOA magazine. I'm like, what was really going on? Was this a plot or is this a theory? What are we working with? Was Porsha really faking not knowing how many days there are in a year that she plotted this shit? Or did it just happen to be that she exited the marriage right before the terms of the prenup ended and happened to just be coming back to the show and happened to be trying to position herself in all of these ways? I'm like, was she really that smart? Or did she grow that smart? I don't know.
Yeah. I just I didn't think she would ever return, to be honest with you. And when she did return, that really surprised me. So I don't know if she did it for them. I think she did it for the money, but I'm not gonna say that. I think the money was good for her to return, or like she would. I don't think she would have been back if it wasn't a good offer for Porsha to return, because Porsha Williams is I work. She likes to get a lot of money for what she does, and I respect that for. I respect that for Porsha, and I think that she knows what's best for her. So I didn't really expect her to return after all that time of absence.
Well, what are your thoughts, Callie Nola? Thanks for coming up, darling.
Oh, no problem. I actually was kind of fooling around and thinking about doing a video on this anyway. So I was like, oh, the timing. But I do agree that Porsha is kind of what makes the show feel familiar. I do
Correct.
kind of feel like I'm watching a different show. And I feel like Porsha's back, but she's not really back because this isn't the same show so much. And I guess maybe because I already know that King is going to be
Now, can I?
Yeah, and Cynthia is just kind of a friend of, so we don't really even know how much we're going to see Cynthia. And I just kind of feel like this is just a different group of women. You know what I mean? Like these women are kind of, I don't know. To me, I kind of like a little bit too. I guess, you know, I could kind of say that she's also part of the old guard. And I'm kind of glad the show is centered on her and not one of these new ladies. But there is sort of like a different vibe that these new women have that I feel like Porsha's kind of like on the fence in between being this type of woman and in between hanging out with like a Shamea and Cynthia. You know, she's like in the middle. And I kind of feel like these people are on the other side of the tracks type of thing. I don't know. They just get me very...
Now, can I ask?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Can I ask you? Did you think she was going to return? Did you feel like she was going to return, or did you think
she was divorcing Simon? I kind of figured that she would because I really didn't see a lot of other stuff happening. However, if I'm being very honest, once I saw that her solo show was not successful, I kind of figured that she would return Simon or no Simon, because I honestly think that's the reason why she left, was because she wanted to do the deal for the solo show and it ended up being a disaster. I don't even think her leaving had anything to do with Simon. I think that there's just a group of women that feel like, oh, she stole this lady's husband. We want her to be punished. And I just think they feel this way and they don't want to hear anything that Porsha has tried to explain, because Porsha actually has already told us why she did this. She already told us she already knew this guy. Like this whole thing with them meeting on the show was set up for the show. She did not know Fallon. She had been knowing Simon. So to me, this whole, I'm not saying that Porsha is 100% innocent, but I kind of see how something.
It just kind of took me by surprise to see her back.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of see how something like this could happen if you have a sort of like a guy that you're sort of friends with. You see, maybe you went out with him a couple of times before, years ago. He gets married, the wife starts cheating on him. You hear about it. You've been in communication with this person, and you start talking to them, and you guys start dating. I think a lot of people, if they're being honest, probably met their significant other after their divorce in a similar fashion. But for whatever reason, because people don't like Porsha, they want to hang with this narrative that she met this man on the show, saw that he was rich, and devised this scheme to steal him from his wife that was already cheating on him. This is like as though she made Fallon cheat on him with Jaden.
Right. We can all agree that when somebody's wife is pregnant by the pool boy, it doesn't matter what he does after that. We can agree on that. Exactly. Welcome to the panel, Allie.
But I also, I'm going to be honest. I don't believe a lot of what we see on these shows, but I actually, especially based upon what a lot of other people have been saying on these podcasts and stuff about how these shows are set up and staged, I actually do believe Porsha that she already knew Simon. She had already been talking to Simon. I think she said they had went out before years ago. So if that is the case, it's kind of like he's the person I have the relationship with, not Fallon. Fallon is not my friend. So I kind of think that that's more how that went. But they know the audience wants to see Porsha punished. So now they've staged this story of Dennis and Drew, and they've gotten this Brittany woman to go up and get in Porsha's face and ask her about stealing the husband. I honestly think that production has orchestrated all of that, and I can't wait till we move on past that story. Maybe, hopefully, there'll be more.
I think we're going to move on to the next episode. I think we are.
Yeah, hopefully there'll be more to the season.
Yeah.
But these
What are your thoughts, Allie? Welcome to the
Mm-mm.
panel.
Hey, how you doing? My thoughts is I think that the production has gotten it right. Instead of just having random women kind of mashed up together and hope that they have a friendship, they actually pick people that are friends or at least know that each other outside the show. And I was very surprised that it was circling around Shamea. I think that was what a lot of housewives needed. Just kind of have a new group of ladies that are friends that know each other in some fashion, been in Atlanta, understand Atlanta, and then we just seeing how everything is. It kind of this episode kind of reminds me of the first season where we're kind of figuring out what this show is about with Nene. It was that same vibe, but with Shamea. So I was like, I thought it was cute. I really do. You know, I mean, I'm everything else. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised Portia's back. You know, I knew she was gonna want to get a check one way or another. I mean, that Bravo check was always good. It's like you're addicted to it. I mean, why would you want to let go a check that's like 6-7 figures for just working for 4 months out of the year, and all you have to do is eat some lunches with some miserable woman, and then you're good to go. I mean, if I could handle reality TV, I would do that too, but it's not for me.
I can't handle reality TV. No, I can recap it, but I can't handle it.
Oh yeah, I would never want to go on one of these shows. No way. But
And that's one thing I like to acknowledge is just how courageous they are to give us any version of their life. Because I'm not rubbing the stump at the Apollo either.
But do you guys not feel that these new ladies are sort of, I'm trying to find a very nice way to say this, a certain type of woman.
Like kind of like Magic City?
Yes, are sort of people that may go on Instagram and pretend to have businesses when they are really just getting rich by telling people that they're rich, or there's escorts or some other untowardly thing, but they're going on Instagram saying, "Oh, I own this multi-million-dollar business." Like there's a certain type of woman that is on social media that is the archetype of. It's like the exaggerated plastic surgery. They're somehow a multi-millionaire. With some business plan that doesn't quite make any sense. And we find out that they have a lot of they're getting rich from social media. They're not rich from this business. This business is a tax write-off. Like there's a certain type of archetype of woman. And I feel like these new ladies that they've added, with the exception of Shamea, who was kind of already there, they all give that same energy. And that's why I said, I kind of feel like Shamea and Porsha are on the fence of, I'm not really over there with them, but I'm not really over here with Kenya and Cynthia either. I'm kind of in the middle somewhere. And it was very odd that Shamea and Porsha were at a strip club in the middle of the day. I was like, what is this? Like, that was so strange. It felt very much like we want to make them edgy and sexy, and it felt flat.
It was very flat.
Yeah.
For me, Angela, I don't get that vibe from Angela. I think she's the one that married to Charles from the Chicago Bulls. I don't get that vibe from her, but unfortunately, I do get that vibe that you're talking about from Britt. That she's that kind of girl vibe from her. And Kelly, she's kind of in the middle, but that's about it. But so I could see why she was an easy target for Kenya, because she unfortunately, she does give me that vibe. What Kenya did was not right, but
You know what it is? It's the really unnatural looking plastic surgery. And I'm trying to say this in the nicest way possible. Regular everyday women typically do not get that type of surgery or fillers. You know what I mean? Like they go for more of a natural look. That's more of an adult industry look.
Yeah, they look like blow-up dolls.
Yeah. And you told us to be nice, so I'm trying to say it in a nice way.
Oh, no. I just meant I was just starting off nice to just give them their due and their respect. And then whatever you want to say, it's your POV. whatever you want to say. You know, you can keep it cute, or they can be a bunch of hoes. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
But
I'm going to be honest. With the exception of Shamea, they don't really, and like I said, Shamea was already there, so it's hard for me to even consider her to be a new woman. They don't look like regular women. Like, they don't just look like regular everyday women that I would see when I go to my niece or nephew's games, and you know, that are just like these rich ladies in these Range Rovers. They don't look like these women. Like,
right.
these women have a very adult industry look.
Yeah.
And it's a little distracting for me. I'm going to try to stick with the show because you guys know I'm trying to get into this whole YouTube thing. But
oh, you have your channel now, Kelly? You have your channel? You have your channel now?
You know,
you have a link we should be dropping? Somebody drop Kelly's link.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody drop a link. Let's go front load her channel, you guys.
Yeah,
support.
I don't have anything there yet. Hope there should be something there this weekend. But yeah, so I'm gonna try to stick with the show. But to be honest, for me, it's throwing me off a little bit because I kind of I almost feel like I'm being gaslit. And am I supposed to be looking at these women and thinking that these are just regular like housewives
people?
Women?
Right.
I mean, for me, I guess I'm immune to it because when you think about most of these housewives, they do look very plastic. Example, look at Mia. She's fake from top to bottom and she admits it, you know? So
yeah,
I feel like if
Mia also doesn't fit the housewife.
Yeah. I don't think that makes it any better.
Yeah,
just
she
admit you're plastic. You're still
women.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's funny that your mind
it's good, but I don't know if it's better. Like,
yeah. Because to me, Mia does not fit on Housewives, and she never
not
has.
at all.
No.
Yeah.
Blow up
Well,
dog.
I've been saying this. I've been saying this since day one. I think Mia needs to leave, but she's still there. She ain't going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know that for sure. That she's still there.
Are they going to continue without Karen?
They said yes at first.
Wow, that's wrong because they hold out for Teresa when she went to jail.
Well, Teresa was not drunk driving. You know what I mean? Like Teresa committed a financial crime.
But it was a whole 3 years.
You know, they gave Erica Jane a spinoff. Didn't Erica Jane get like a little mini special in the midst of all of this?
Oh yeah, they tested her.
My earrings thing. You know, like, so they do what they want to do for certain people, and it's obvious. It's obvious.
Well, they did. Yeah, they tested Erica Jane for a spinoff, and I think somehow Denise Richards ended up getting the series order, which is very odd to me because I'm trying to watch that show and I'm just not seeing what they saw to give this woman a show.
Right? I was like, she got upset about how she portrayed herself on the
Erica Jane. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I would.
You would?
I'd rather Erica Jane than Denise Richards. I mean, if I had to choose two,
I can do without Erica Jane.
Me too. I'm not doing Burn Victim Lady. I'm not.
Nope. I'm done.
I'm saying as far as the content that we would get, like with Erica, we would have gotten behind the scenes, putting shows together, costumes.
But I would have been the
all
whole time that her whole persona was funded with the $25 million Girardi Keys American Express.
No thanks.
The entire Erica Jane persona for 10 years was funded by an American Express card that said Girardi Keys, as allegedly that's what they're saying, and then she was not trying to do nothing to participate with these people. There have been 2 documentaries on her, and she still got this little here I'm going over to Vegas or Broadway little thing happening over there, and I'm just like, really? And then we have Jax, who everybody knew with a vein in his forehead. Huh?
I was saying her versus Denise Richards, not just her in general.
That's what we're saying. We're watching. But at the same time, I mean, maybe that's why she didn't get the spinoff, because I feel like her biggest drama is this whole thing. And if she's not going to talk about it, well, you know, Sit down, Erica, because that's what
Mhm.
we want. We want the tea. Maybe that's why it didn't work out.
So
Probably why.
how do you guys,
Yeah.
real quick, let's divert to Karen real quick while we're here. Um Karen's okay. So Karen, they wanted Karen to be held accountable on the thing. She's like, it's an active case. They wanted her to take responsibility, which basically means indict yourself for our entertainment. And they continued to poke at her, want her to take accountability, continue to talk about it, chop it up about it, continue to like, I feel like to a detriment to her case, even like we're talking about these things. And she had a lawyer who was advising her to STFU because the Miranda was never read. They said she wasn't under arrest, but then used everything she said against her because they said it was an investigation. So anyway, but then we have Ashley Darby, same franchise. When her husband was going through it for grabbing butts, they say, "Oh, it's an active court case. Ashley doesn't have to talk about it." Then we get over here to Beverly Hills, and Erica Jane is wearing earrings from burn victims, and she's like, "It's an active court case," and they're not even pressing her on it further. Like, there's, you know what I mean, and not trying to make her hold it accountable. They were literally only bringing up what was in the news already. Whereas, like for Karen, nothing was in the news, nothing was being talked about. Or the only thing that we were going to get was from Karen's mouth because it was literally an active case. And I don't know. What do you guys think? There's some differences there, or
I
some?
think I think I think there's some differences with everybody's case. I don't think her case is the same with other people's cases. I think if you have a case with somebody, if you have a case with anybody, you can't compare other people to other people's cases because the cases are different. That's my opinion. The cases are different with everybody else. So you know, I everybody is everybody is innocent until proven guilty. But I do think that her case is different and larger. Mm-hmm.
My issue is the inconsistency. If we're going to give certain people a pass by don't having to explain what's going on legally, even though they're being, I mean, Bravo and NBC knows that if you have a court case or anything legal, you don't say anything to, incriminate yourself. So why are we forcing Karen to say so when you know she got legal representation? She can't say anything. But then when it was, as you mentioned, Ashley, she was not the one that had the case against her. It was her husband. She could talk all day if she wants to do it. She's not the one worrying about it. But, it was enough to say, oh, we don't have a court case and I can't speak about it. And they kept it moving. Is the inconsistency for me with the show.
Exactly.
I just want to have the same energy. If we're not going to talk about it, then we don't talk about it for anybody else. If we're going to talk about it and drag them to the dirt, I need you to give me that same energy. Why some get it and some don't? It's
Yeah,
not. It's just inconsistency with me.
and I agree.
Well, Karen could
Oh,
have unalived someone. So there's
But
that.
she
But also,
didn't.
I
We
think
just
it
gonna
was the
stick.
media.
We're just gonna stick to that she didn't. But in Erica's case, there are literally burn victims, dead people, orphans that didn't get their money because she funded Erica Jane. So there's a huge difference. There's a tree and there's actual burn victims.
But wait. What didn't they do with Eric? Because see, Erica Jane didn't go to. She didn't get locked up.
No, what happened was
So
with Erica J. Is her husband was representing these clients, and somehow he found a way with the selling of money instead of giving it to them like how he's supposed
oh
to.
no, I know
He
that.
found a way to kind of do some type of Ponzi scheme and kept all their money. So when they need the money for pain and injury, lost their family.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get any of their money. Dom Jordan stole all of it, and then he embezzled it through all this housing, through Erica's career, music career, jewelry stuff, like everything. That's why everything was seized because when they realized where the money went, it went to upkeeping that lifestyle. I mean, because I still remember that bird victim where the guy where the plane crashed, or no, it
Yeah.
was something blew up with the gas and he got burned, but yet his girlfriend was unalive.
Oh
He
yeah, it was the Rio Gomez.
Yes, he is
Yeah.
still suffering and still needs to do these things to this day, and yet I don't know.
So my question is more
The
like,
reality is that it is so bad. They are still looking for a load of the money, which is why it's gone so quiet. We're not hearing about trials and stuff as much, is because they are looking into evidence. But what I know from like Ronald Richards and people who I talk to is, even what they put online is bad, but it is a lot worse than what they're saying. And although they want to expose a lot of stuff, they still have to be careful to protect the victims and make sure that the victims can get as much as possible.
Correct.
Wow.
no, I think my question is more like, as regarding Erica being on the show, I kind of feel like there wasn't more that they could have done because Erica didn't have a criminal case versus
I think what I
Karen
would say with
actually
Bravo
was
is
convicted.
Bravo love to monetize off drama and suffering and pain. And I think this is why Erica was given the spin off. This is why she remains on Beverly Hills, because she was at the front and center of the news, all of this scandal. And if Bravo can monetize off scandal, they will. And Erica's the prime example of where they're doing this. People want to know what's happening. People who don't watch Bravo are watching this because they're seeing Girardi Keys, Erica, and the Erin Brockovich lawyer, Tom's wife, having to go through all of this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing was more like how Karen is being treated differently, but my thing is that I don't know what more they could have done to Erica in lieu of her removing her from the show, which, as far as we know, Karen hasn't been removed from the show because Erica was not convicted of a crime. Karen was, so she is going to be gone for about a year.
Well, the question was more about just the overall cast treatment and production's treatment of it for a storyline. So we even had Andy Cohen say out of his mouth at the reunion about Karen's situation, well, she didn't take any accountability. Like she was supposed to implicate herself for our, we didn't have Erica. Erica has yet to like literally shed a tear for anybody but herself. And so what accountability wouldn't have been an implication in Karen's case as similar for it to keep on getting asked?
I mean, it will be interesting to see what happens when Erica goes again under trial, which is going to happen. It will definitely happen. The problem is that because Karen Huger was in trial, she more or less pleaded guilty. That's why they're going down that route. But I think, it'll be interesting to see if they set the same standards. And arguably with Erica, they should have a lot harsher standards when she is found to be guilty of having knowledge of where the money that she was spending came from, in my opinion.
Yeah, but is there even a criminal case against Erica, though? I know Tom was found guilty.
There is, and there is going to be happening a trial. She is going to be standing trial. I can't remember the date. I've got the note somewhere, but she will be. She is going on trial.
Are you sure this is not a civil?
Wait a minute.
I just don't remember there being any type of arrest warrant or anything ever issued for Erica. I never heard that.
It's coming.
Well, Erica, she's not been arrested, but she is going on trial to work out what she knew about where the money came from and the money that she was spending. The trial will also determine how much money that she should be paying back, etc.
Okay, now I'm trying to figure out, where is this? Is this someone who's suing her, and that's what she's going to trial for?
Well, with Erica, the situation is that she is the wife of Tom Girardi. She used the American Express card, as you've all been talking about, to spend well over $20 million.
But is this a
So
civil lawsuit?
because that is client money, she is on trial, and she's supposedly the only mentally competent person that can tell the court, did she know, and they can work out what's really happened here.
But wait a minute, wasn't Tom found guilty?
Tom was found guilty, but Erica has spent client money that did not belong to her or Tom. So she is standing trial because she spent money that did not belong to her.
No, I understand that. I just wasn't aware that she had been charged with a crime.
She's not been charged with the crime as of yet, but if she's found guilty, she could well be charged with the crime.
But found guilty where if she's not been charged with the crime? This is the part that's confusing me.
This trial will determine whether she is a criminal or not, and I think it probably she will be.
This is a hearing.
Can I?
No, I think what it is like a grand jury. So I see this like in the Law and Order where they do a trial, quote unquote, to see if they're going to charge you because it's so complex. This is probably going to be something like a racketeering type of thing where it's multiple different crimes and they want to see what her involvement is. So she really has to convince these people, oh, I was just the wife and he told me to spend the money, and how much they believe her.
But she did say, "Does everybody
know that's still going on?" I thought,
But the point is, there is a trial on this.
Would have been jail.
Yeah.
I didn't know,
Well, I also feel like just another layer to it all about Tom.
Can
while he's found guilty, they're waiting for. Isn't he going to be sentenced like Karen Hubert? He's about to be hella old in the facility, right? So, but Erica hasn't divorced him yet because you don't have to testify against your spouse, and vice versa. So if she does go to trial, I would say she doesn't get divorced till after she found whatever she found so that he can't testify against her. What do you think?
Well, the thing is that she can't get divorced as long as these lawsuits are going on. Until the lawsuits wrap up, she actually cannot get divorced from Tom Girardi.
Wow.
That's why the divorce is on hold, as she's put it on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Oh.
But
can I ask you a question?
No, because I know we went way off from what we were talking about. But you know what I heard, you guys, and I don't know if this is true, but I heard that she actually did work there. She was not an attorney. She might
I was going to say that.
Or something like that. But I actually
does anybody remember the episode where Erica Girardi said, I used to work at the office. I know everything that happens there. She said that in an episode. And I was like, or was that in a parallel universe? I don't know if it was a butterfly effect. Because Callie, you're one of the few that remembers the shit. Like,
oh no, because I live in LA. See, Tom used to be on the radio here. He used to give legal advice on the radio. Had I had a case, I would have called Tom and I probably would have got caught up and got my money stolen and everything. Because I used to listen to him all the time.
Well, I have a bit of an answer to this in that I'm not aware of Erica doing any actual, 9-to-5 type of work at Girardi Keys. However, when it did set up, she was listed as the secretary of the company. So maybe if she knows she's going to trial, if she's
hello.
Oh no. Did we
Hello.
Dustin, you were trying to say something. Go ahead.
I wanted to ask him when the trial date was.
Oh yeah, huh? Yeah, we have.
Freddie said he knows, but it's in his notes, so he doesn't have it with him.
Okay, I'll try to see if I can find out because I thought that.
While you're looking that up, Callie. So far with the Real Housewives of the Atlantic, is it a sink or a sail? Because
sink.
I'm going to be doing a lot of nautical references because Faye called it the Real Housewives of Titanic before she ran back over to it.
I think it's gonna. I think it's gonna
put
sink.
lots of.
Oh, you know what, guys? I think I might have gotten some inside information that I didn't realize was inside information. So right in the beginning of the season, when they first began to film, I saw that a blog had posted that Phaedra would be joining them for the cast trip. This was way in the beginning, before Kenya left anything. So this narrative that Phaedra somehow had to be brought back because the show was failing. No, that was always the plan when they started the season, is that she would come on the cast trip, because I saw it.
Actually, I doubled that too, because I saw a clip
Yeah.
that Candy was saying. I think Candy was at the People's Choice Awards, so they were talking about the show and Phaedra, and she mentioned. Remember, she did not sign on, but she mentioned that the executives came to her and told her up front that Phaedra was coming back and they wanted her back on the show, and she said they didn't make it like a choose situations, me or her, or her and her. They said, no, Phaedra's come back. We want you to come back. And that's why she declined. So this was way before Ken even announced she was leaving the show. How about she was going to go station, and they already had it in their mind. They wanted Phaedra back.
Yeah, this was, someone posted it. I want to say it was B. Scott, but maybe it was a very smaller blog, and that's why a lot of people didn't see it. But right in the beginning, when they were talking about who may or may not come back, they said Phaedra was coming on a cast trip. So I kind of feel like this whole thing of Phaedra coming back to save the show, it's nonsense. Like, this was just part of what they had storyboarded for the season, was that Phaedra would join them on the cast trip.
Yeah, and I mean, based on when she returned and when Married to Medicine filmed, it was so clear she was dipping out of Married to Medicine to join Real Housewives of Atlanta, going, yeah, I'm better than the doctor's wives, even though I was a complete beg of Atlanta to try and get on to Married to Medicine and faked dating some doctor from Africa.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
And that's why I don't.
On Married to Medicine, that was very strange.
And I kind of
weird when Apollo showed up. But
I don't trust Phaedra.
And I thought it was funny. No, sorry. I was saying that she was in pink. She was basically telling she was born in Atlanta. She didn't say I was Mean Girl. She said he's type of Mean Girl. So that was her way of saying, "Oh, I'm going back to Atlanta." Bye. Because remember, with she lied so much, you literally have to hear every single word that comes out of her mouth to kind of have to get the truth from her.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know what it is? Phaedra's doing a character. And at first it was, I'm a Southern Belle, honey baby, sugar child. Now I'm a city girl at 55 years old. I don't think we have ever seen Phaedra's real, actual personality.
No, this is the problem.
The Housewives, she's been doing some sort of a character.
She always.
Yeah, that's why I've never been a huge fan of Phaedra, because I felt like we're just getting a lot of put-ons and airs, and now she, to me, looks like she's wearing a costume. Like the way that she dresses, none of that stuff fits her at all. Like, it just looks so awkward. Like, girl, do you really dress like this? The same thing with Drew Sidora is doing the same thing as well. I don't think Drew Sidora would ever wear a blonde wig if she wasn't on this show.
That wig was horrible.
Yeah, and she just threw it on. Like, her hair was coming out of the back.
And that's bad, because she's supposed to be ambassador of Go Naked Hair for Porsha.
Why would you hire Sidora instead of Cynthia? Cynthia's an actual model, but maybe Cynthia wanted too much money.
Because remember Drew's wigs in the first season was really bad, so it was like a pity charity thing for her. Like, her wigs were bad her first season. I mean, you could see the track and everything. It's terrible.
Also, it was great advertising.
Yeah,
like that. Now you look like this.
I helped her upgrade it with her wigs. Look at her; she don't look as terrible. I mean, she's a pretty girl, but hair is hard if you don't have someone really know what they're doing.
Well, they're supposed to have glam squads. These are housewives.
Yeah,
But even Porsha running with this 24-inch or 26-inch bust down wig on was comical to me. Like, who is running with the wig glued on? I gotta be real with you. I'm a black woman. I've been a black woman my whole life. I got 4C hair up under these locks. The wigs gotta go. I don't know. I feel like we have fallen down a rabbit hole with these wigs. And I think that a lot of people think that these wigs look more realistic than they actually do. And like you were just saying, Porsha with the baby hairs, like she couldn't just put a ponytail in her real hair. Like what was, I mean, all of this, it just looks like you're wearing a costume. And,
right.
and when people like that, it was very insincere to me.
I appreciated Charles Barkley.
Yes.
For saying that, telling her, he's like, you have so much makeup on and you put all that extra hair in. Like, he was just like, why do you do that?
Yeah, and it's not outside.
The ladies,
and I do feel bad when her glue started melting. I felt bad.
Oh my gosh, that was the worst. I've been there. Look, I've been there. Look, and my husband would have told me too. He would have been like, you slipping.
But you know what, guys, didn't they film this last summer?
Yes, and it was super hot. It was so hot that summer.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, why in the world are you wearing that kind of a wig to go to an outdoor party in Georgia in the summertime? It's just like at that point, I'm gonna have to find some other hairstyle. I'm not gluing something to my head to stand out in the hot sun in front of lights and cameras.
And you know, it comes to think of it, I realized Shamea was the one that was rocking a short hairdo, and that made sense.
Right. Hey, Mel.
Yeah.
Hey.
Thanks for coming up. We're having a panel on everything. It was supposed to be Real Housewives of Atlanta. Are you thinking that it's sinking or selling?
I don't know. I was listening on my phone. I was coming back. I picked the groceries up, and I said, "Let me call."
I think it's gonna sink larger. I don't think you heard what I said. I think it's gonna sink.
I don't know. I'm still gonna swim in, but I will say it was funny. I was talking about the heat. Like I think somebody said, "Why would you put that hair on in the middle of a heat wave?" Listen, I think that these ladies will put on a fur coat in the middle of the heat wave. To be honest with you, they just simply are so extra when it comes to their fashion. Like I think that for me as a viewer, I just want people just to be natural when it comes to being comfortable. The issue I have with this show, and now that I think about it, I enjoyed the episode, but I think that the issue that Bravo has is that they seem to want to kind of manipulate the viewer to believe that everybody knows you for 20 or 30 years and that we're close friends, we have a long history. And they had an issue in New York City with the new that series, and they kind of it's giving me that energy a little bit with Atlanta. Like everybody knows each other, and we know each other for a long time. And then the season will go on, and we won't feel that chemistry. The chemistry that, of course, Potomac had the first season, or the chemistry that Atlanta had the first season, or the chemistry that they had in Beverly Hills the first season. Chemistry is very important, and I think that when you do a lot of stunts and shows, and unfortunately, Kenya found out. When you do stunts and shows, then that the audience turns against you. So I think that may be the threat this year, that if they don't really double down on being real, and I mean, I would have preferred, I mean, I know it's not really Bravo, but listen, I would have loved for the ladies to say, listen, I'm excited about being around this new group. I don't know these ladies. I'm very nervous. Like that, I think that's the one thing about Basketball Wives I enjoyed when it was good, is that when the new ladies come around, they say, I don't know them, but I'm very nervous to be around Tammy. I'm scared. I like when they would tell you the truth, not just say, oh, I've been 30 and 20 years, because the chemistry then is totally off, and then we don't really feel connected to them. But I will say that, go ahead. Somebody was saying?
Yeah, because one thing I think that's why I think Shamea is going to do good, because at least at some point she was asking the right question. Like when Kelly was talking about Porsha, she was like, do you know Porsha? How about you get to know Porsha first before you put a judgment on her? And she's trying to be level-headed because she seems to know these ladies to some degree, but then still wants to make it know, like, hey, you still don't know Kenya. You don't know, Porsha. Like, stop acting like you know them. Like, another part with, like, say, Kenya, I guess Britt was like, you didn't come and hug me. And she's like, do I know you?
So that scene right there was controversial, because I want to say this. So with that scene right there, I think that it's produced. So I blame producers, because if it was produced better, we probably would have had Britt say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous to meet Kenya," and then we would have seen the anticipation of why she was being so extra. But as Bravo would show it, we just show this woman being messy thirsty, and then now it feels disjointed. It doesn't feel very congruent. If it was being real, they would have just said, "Listen, I'm nervous to be around these veterans. Okay, I'm not sure I'll be able to hold my own over here." So that would have, again, that's what Wives was good. They did that because they would always mix up new people that didn't know each other. They were honest about it. They said, "I heard something. I researched you on Google. It was funny, it was shady," and then the ladies started playing. I was like, okay, but over here we getting sold these lies that they know each other for a long time. So I think that sometimes you are sensitive when you meet people that you're intimidated by, and that's normal. But the way they play is so weird to me. So I think that's the issue that Bravo has, because I would say this: Traders is taking over the world. I have to catch up with them. But yet these people don't know each other, but the chemistry is on point because they're like, I don't know you. We're strangers, but let's go over here and play. If Bravo would take that same lead, see, Bravo thinking that we're still in 2008 and we're in 2025. And they still thinking, oh, we gotta convince the audience that these people know each other for a long time. No, now we live in 2025. You don't need to know people for 30 years to have drama. You can just know them for a couple of days and get that shit, curves, get that thing popping, and you can have a good show. My favorite show was Big Brother for a long time. You don't need to know people for a long time. And Andy and those producers seem to, that formula is just tired. It's very tired. I think the girls in Married to Medicine have the issue too. Now, I heard you, I think, Nola, about Phaedra. I called her on different shows last year. I called her a cartoon character because she kept hitting on these different things. Now, you know what I think too? And this is Phaedra's fault. She was so traumatized because she's always been exposed. I think that Nene Leakes, my girl Miss Nene Leakes, she said, "My God, what kind of lawyer are you?" She can't lie well. So when she kept lying and getting exposed terribly and turned into the villain that she was behind the scene, she now goes on to every show and she plays the cartoon character because she doesn't want to really show the nuances of her maybe sometimes twisted kind of personality. I don't hate Phaedra, but she's playing it way too safe because she got creamed so many times. Every time she lied, people exposed her. So now she just wanted to say, "I'm a good time lady." And in the moment Married to Medicine, they almost got her. They almost got her to try to swap somebody with a pocketbook. They did. They almost got her to get that mad. But then when she got that mad, she ran off into her jet, because she was getting mad. She's about to start hitting people again. So she said, "I'm out of here." I can't.
Oh my gosh.
She was.
Are you talking about Phaedra? You think it was awesome how she left?
You know what? Now Curves, I love you very much. I listen. Listen, I don't like the dentist and the two doctors over there. I think they're messy. I love Mariah very much. So she had their numbers, and I don't like Phaedra. So it is what it is. I don't think Phaedra's a good fit over there. I never really understood why she was there. So when she kind of left and she wasn't being hazed by the dentist and the two doctors.
Maybe there's nowhere for Phaedra because she was kind of too much overdone over in the Married to Medicine. Those ladies are kind of natural. They just put some blush, a couple of eyelashes, and then hitting the pavement. They're not baking. They're not adding layers. They're not doing all of that, Yeah. And so she is going to fit in over here on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I will say that I wish they would stop baking, though. I'm going to need them to calm down because then they get the wrong light. Like, remember back in the day, Callie, when we were putting our makeup on, it would have daylight, indoor night. And that was a certain makeup mirror you could get. And then it would be the light that you would be seen in when you got there because you do your makeup in fluorescent light and then get to a different type of light. And you look crazy. So though people been looking really crazy lately, but I think Phaedra will fit in with them.
Well, I feel like, and I hate to say this because I'm around the same age as these ladies, I feel like I'm looking at women that are getting stuck in an aesthetic that's going out.
Yeah.
But I'm going to ask you, ladies. So, do you blame the makeup artists for the way that these ladies look when it comes to the show? Because I'm a man, and all I know is it seems. So Denise Richards, I've enjoyed her. She said, "Oh, they ate me up over there." I was watching an interview. She said they ate me up over there with my fashion. I came there with my sweatpants. I had no makeup artists. They had a whole team, and I felt like they were drag queens. That's what she said in one of the podcasts. Yeah. I think that's if you're a natural lady on these shows, the viewers seem to tear you apart, and the cast do too. So you think that maybe the ladies on the show say, "I need a whole team to make me look like I'm going to the red carpet all the time"?
Well, I just feel like there's a line, and we shouldn't sue the surgeon.
Yeah.
Until at a certain point.
Yeah, because I think I think it's a
I
little.
think Beverly Hills is as bad as Atlanta. They wear a lot of makeup and weave on Beverly Hills too, but I still don't think it's as extreme. Maybe Erica Jane, but she's the only one. Now, Denise Richards is, this is the thing when you try to put everybody in LA on the same franchise. Denise Richards should have been on, if they had it, Real Housewives of Malibu or the Beach Cities or something like that. She's a beach girl, probably don't wear shoes. She probably wear flip-flops every day. Probably more like me, don't wear no makeup, wear flip-flops every single day, wear sweats and jeans, and only dress up if she's going to an event. You know, that's
Elaine, not Elaine, Eileen. She was sort of that way too.
Yeah, Malibu as well.
Kind of easy.
Yeah, that's like if you live in the beach cities, which I mean, I live in South LA, but I worked in the beach cities for years, and I'm actually only like 7 miles from the beach. That's kind of how the women are. You will not see a lot of women with lace front wigs on and full faces of makeup anywhere, unless you go to an event.
Yeah, I think it's kind of both when it comes to it. I mean, it's the ladies that want to be done up that way, but also you have the makeup artists kind of have to be able to say, hey, sweetheart, this is kind of more 2025, you know, where slowly, not all the time you need to wear full coverage makeup. It's okay to have light to medium coverage if you're going to an outdoor day event, because they're also surrounded by a lot of yes. Because you do have some makeup artists that are just, I'm still stuck in 2020, full coverage, doing baking, the whole 9 yards. But if you look, they're doing more skincare. They're doing more light makeup. They're not, you know, they're bringing more neutrals back. You know, even if you look at the red carpet, you see a lot of people wearing a lot more softer makeup. So it's really depend on what the ladies want, what the makeup artist is willing to push back on, and what the makeup artist skill set is. If they're not, you know, some of them are just, that's their thing, full glam, full coverage, all these eyelashes, which is not bad. I mean, if that's your thing, it's your thing. But, you know, if they don't have a makeup artist that has a full roundabout of bringing you from day, night, and keeping up with the trend, it is what it is. But it is crazy too, you know, having like all this wig on in Atlanta when it's like 100 degrees, and I think your boo ain't gonna melt. Like no one could say, I think you should wear something like.
It has a smell when it melts. There's a smell, the odor that it is when it's wet and you put it on. When it starts melting, the smell kicks up, y'all.
Oh Lord.
And you turn your head and you turn into that smell when it's your head.
You know what? Listen, that I would say too, and it makes me sad because I love that y'all bring it. Yeah, because I never thought about the way they look makeup wise, but I love this conversation. For me as a viewer, I think, especially my brown sisters, I'm gonna be that way. Potomac and Atlanta, even the new girls, they're beautiful, beautiful ladies, beautiful women. Even with they different things they've done, I don't really feel that they need to do that much themselves with all that stuff, you know, with the makeup or everything. Like you said, maybe a little natural would make it feel like they're a little more approachable, or a little more, I don't know, just not like a cartoon.
And I want to double on this too. It depends. I want to say that, not to say it's a fault, but you remember, if you want a more natural look and look natural on television, that is a technique. So if you're having someone who's a makeup artist but don't have any background in makeup and filming you know, when you get it filming, then you have to put on a lot of makeup and coverage on, because you know it is a huge technique to look natural, quote unquote, but then still have a makeup and not make the camera make you look crazy. Does that make sense? So I don't know.
Shamea's makeup to me is very natural.
Oh, she's beautiful.
A lot of
to me, it's probably wit and went out of the way to find a makeup artist that understands how to do makeup. And probably some of us, maybe she got lucky to say, hey, I know you're going to be in some lights, but I don't want you to look like you got on makeup, so they could understand that. That's an art form that not every makeup artist knows how to do. So she probably lucked out and got a good makeup artist. But I always think she had good makeup every time I've seen her anyways. If I remember past episodes, she never looked overdone. She just looked put together. Does that make sense?
I was going to say, have you ever heard this? I remember it was, I'm not sure if it was on, oh my gosh, Heather Madonna on somebody's show, where they said, behind the scenes, the housewives love when actresses get on the show because they act like Kenya and all of them. They know all the tricks of the trade about how to sit with a. Because I think Yolanda, she told, oh my gosh, just the Spanish lady how to sit, I said, wow, if you're really a model or a professional, you kind of know, you kind of have a little ahead, you're ahead of the game because you know about makeup, you know about lighting. So like Yolanda always looked beautiful, and Kenya, you know, she had her moments, but they know how to really work the cameras and their makeup because they know filming.
Yeah, Yolanda was also a girl that lived in Malibu, and I'm telling you, those women don't wear make. First of all, a lot of people don't know this unless you're close to the beach. The ocean sprays water on you. So all of this silk press and lace front, heavy makeup, you are gonna look like a melted fool by the end of the day if you're walking around in any of the beach cities. It's not humidity, it's something different. And you may not feel it, but when you look in the mirror and you look at your hair and your makeup, you're gonna see it.
Oh,
which is one reason why I stopped wearing my hair in a particular way. Between that and working out all the time, my hair would be jacked up. I would get my hair done and I would walk home from work to my car, which was down the street, and my hair would be done. Like it would be over with. Like any hairstyle that I had to find a natural hairstyle because there was no way I was going to be walking backwards and forth from my car on the beach and my hair stayed done. It's not possible. So that is why I think the reason why you don't see a lot of those ladies that live near the beach wearing all of these wigs and heavy makeup and stuff, because it's not maintainable.
Yeah. I get it. You know, I want people to be comfortable in who they are and naturally more than anything. Like, and then didn't you guys hear the story about like even how these wigs are killing us? The synthetic hair is killing us. Like they just had a whole report. Well, they just had a whole report on how the carcinogens in synthetic hair are detrimental to Black women's health. And it's really bad. Like, and that's, you know what I mean? So just, you know, I wish there was space in our society for the naturalness to be fully accepted to the degree where you don't have to bake because you look crazy. Those baby hairs don't look natural. You know what I'm saying? And when your butt is bigger than your thighs like that, that doesn't look right. You know what I mean? And it's just like so much. What do you do that for a moment? And then they end up mad. I bet they end up mad at the end.
Well, Curves, go ahead.
I think we're all probably up here old enough to remember when the look was to have the giant breast and the blonde hair.
Yeah.
Then that look went out. That's the same thing is happening with this. And I feel like it happens gradually so people don't see it. But I already see it, like, especially with the Ozempic, the new look is thin and athletic. The wigs are not, people are having issues with these wigs. So they're starting to kind of not wear them as much. They're going back to the bundles. Like if you watch Beyond the Gates, they got bundles.
I love that show. Yeah, I watch that one at nighttime.
Unless they're wearing a disguise. Yeah.
Are you guys watching Beauty and Black too?
Has a disguise on. Otherwise, they got bundles on, blended in with their natural hair.
Did you guys see Beauty and Black also? Speaking of hair care.
No, is that the one with the lady from All My Children? I think Eats by You.
Yes, Debbie Morgan.
That's Debbie Morgan. So I have not seen it, but I've seen her on Twitter just tearing.
Oh my gosh, there's 2 seasons on Netflix right now. So good. Wow. Oh my gosh.
I love Debbie Morgan. I love her from Eves by You. My mother loved her, All My Children.
And Richard Townsend, is that his name? Tina Knowles' ex?
Oh, okay. I didn't even know they were both on that show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out.
And did you guys ever see Tyler Perry's, what was that? The one about the neighborhood, not the Oval, but the one about the neighborhood and the lady set the little house on fire in the back. Anyway, Lucius is in it. Lucian, and he plays a lot of different people are in it. It's very good, you guys. You should see it. But Debbie Morgan, oh my gosh, the kiss of life. She is the only one that can really act because it's a Tyler Perry production.
Come on now,
they be struggling, but Debbie Morgan and Richard, they be bringing it home.
But Curves, Debbie came from that's my mother's. God, I miss my mother. That's my mother's favorite actress because she came from the soap. thank you. She came from the soap time. So Debbie could take literally like a comic book and read it and it make it believe, because she is such a, I mean, she was married to a wonderful actor, Charles, I think S. Dutton. And they
yes.
you know, so she's a really top tier actor. So she can take any material and she can make you believe it.
Is excellent.
I have to see it because I've seen Twitter.
It's so good to see her back in action.
So is it true that, because I'm on Twitter, if she's tearing up, I see the little clips. Is it true that she had she
is like a gangster preacher.
Mm.
So she's kind of like P Valley. Remember the mom on P Valley that was a preacher, but then she stole the place from her daughter?
Mm-hmm.
And she would kick a butt. But this preacher, Debbie Morgan, she really kicks butts. Yes.
Oh, okay. I'll look it up.
She's a lot. She's a lot. And then turn around and say, "Thanks for coming to service."
Wow.
It's very good. Very, very good.
I have to check it out. But sink or swim, I unfortunately I have to agree with what was the other gentleman that was here, David. I don't think this show, I think this show is on its way out. I don't think this season is going to do well. The ratings are already down. I don't know if it was a good idea to also change the graphics, because it really feels unfamiliar.
Right.
It literally feels like
I think the hiatus and the reboot, it's the same catastrophe that happened in New York. It was too long. The people, you didn't do it right. It was too long and you didn't do it fucking right. So now we're upset.
But I also think that Curves, I just think that society in general is getting a little played out on the city girl. Yes. Like I feel like that era is kind of going away.
Well, for the original viewership of shows like Real Housewives of Atlanta, the flagship, we are evolved. It's just like we outgrew Jerry Springer. We outgrew Ricky Lake. We outgrew Sally Jesse Raphael. We transcended all that. We flew over to Oprah's house, and then we wanted a little, you know what I'm saying? And then we went back over to Wendy because she was a little Oprah and a little Sally. And Jerry, you know, but Wendy it wasn't all the way. So I feel like you're right. There's a natural evolution happening.
Actually, Wendy was something very unique. She was a live version of a tabloid magazine. It was like watching one of the journalists at a tabloid magazine have a show. And I honestly think nobody has been.
That was the first time that genre had happened, right? Like that was the first. Wasn't she a pioneer as far as that? Yeah. Because
everybody else is doing nighttime talk shows in the daytime. That's what they're all doing. Jennifer Hudson, Sherry Shepherd, all of them. Those are essentially just the Tonight Show, and it's on in the daytime. But Wendy, I felt like I was looking at a journalist from Us Weekly, and she was giving us like the information we didn't get when we read the article.
Right.
And she would actually sit down and ask the people the messy questions. I don't see that I don't think they have found anyone to replace Wendy.
Never. So you know what's so funny? I wish I could see everybody's names. I'm going to say Callie.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Boom. Because I hate to miss. Oh, there we go. Callie Nolan. There we go. You know what? Growing up in New York City all my life, you've heard. I've been to Wendy's events, been to her TV shows. You just heard. She's just been a part of the city, like the Statue of Liberty, for a long time. But I will say, for a long time, a lot of us, we didn't believe her information because it was so outrageous in the 90s. It was like, wait a minute, you say P. Diddy is what? You say that.
Well, some of it isn't true. Some of it is.
Well, no.
It was a bit of an exaggeration.
No, but I'm saying now, but you know what's so funny? I'm gonna give her flowers, because back in the 90s, we never knew of all the stuff. So now here we in 2025, and most of her research, I'm going to say research, because she's a journalist, came out to be true. It was one episode I loved where Whitney Houston's lover, it was a beautiful lady, came up there and she said, "Yeah, you were right. You were right about me and Whitney having a relationship." And we were in the car.
I watched Robin's interview.
There we go. Okay, but
Robin said, yes, we have been intimate at one point. That wasn't really Whitney's thing, but we remained best friends. That's what she said. I don't know how it got twisted into them having this
a marriage
relationship.
Right.
I'm like, that's not what that lady said.
Yeah, but even for me back then, but even the idea of Whitney being with a woman was like, wait a minute, she's lying. So when she confirmed that, and then also the P Diddy, so basically that lady, she was in those clubs, and she had got so much information. And the sad part about the P Diddy saga is that so many people made money off the reporting, and she was actually the blueprint, had put the seeds in. She would have made millions if it wasn't for this unfortunate legal.
Well, you see what's going on with the recording now. But that's a whole other topic. We're not trying to take over. We're talking about, I guess, Curves invited us to talk about Housewives.
About Housewives, yeah, but Whitney definitely, yeah, she.
No,
definitely,
I was like, what you talking about?
Oh, well, essentially, what's happening with the video, and you guys don't shoot me. I do think Diddy is guilty of something, and he should probably be in jail. However, with they're contesting.
I'm back. I had to get my computer going.
His lawyer's asking for the video. CNN is saying that they destroyed it. They don't have it anymore. Now the lawyer's saying, well, you probably destroyed it because you edited it. Because the video is not really showing someone trying to escape. And I got to be honest, I felt like he was more upset with her for whatever was in that bag than more or less trying to stop her from leaving. And a lot of people feel that way too. And the case is based upon him trying to prevent her from leaving this sort of thing that they were doing. You know, I don't want to get anybody flagged, but I'm going to be honest. I do think Diddy is guilty of something, and he probably belongs in jail. And I definitely think he swindled people.
Well,
but this thing about that she couldn't leave, if you actually read her statement, she did leave. So I don't know what's going to happen with this case, but it is, to me, we all deal with videos. Curves, you actually have a YouTube channel. We know how digital videos are stored.
Yeah.
How could they not have this video? It doesn't make any sense. And then even if you don't have it, the person you got it from should still have it on their phone or whatever.
Right.
So somebody lying. And I think the only reason why I would think that someone would lie is because maybe his lawyer is right, that they slightly edited that video, not to make it seem like she was assaulted, because she was, but to make it seem like he was trying to stop her from exiting, which I doubted. I'm gonna be honest. It kind of just felt like he was just pissed off because she took the bag.
Yeah, we know the bag. We know what the bag had in it.
Leave. I think that's the part that people are.
Didn't the bag have the pink powder in it? Didn't it have the Pepto powder in it?
You know what? My suspicions. He claims it was just his clothes and his phone. My suspicions was that was like his getaway bag. So that was his dope, his weapon, his money, like all his stuff that he would take with him when he would go on these binges by himself. So that's my suspicion as to what was in the bag.
Well, you know, not much of it surprises me. I'm just glad if a predator's gone, a predator's gone. If you can't keep hurting the people, it sounds like, you know, there were some prolapse things happening over there that people might not have agreed to. And there was some oiling of things that people might not have condoned. But, you know, as far as that goes, I just hope that the people's holes are all healed and that people can move on accordingly. But I do not agree with taking people who have a dream to share their talent with the world and think they've made their chance, and then you weaponizing that to XA them and manipulate them and control them and have them walk across the Brooklyn Bridge to get warm breast milk from the lady to dip your cookies in. That wasn't cool. Like it's not, he's too much. He's too much.
Well, that's why I said, Curves, I still feel that he is guilty and belongs in jail, because I think that people are kind of misunderstanding. He may not have done things exactly the way that they're saying, but in the very least, he weaponizes people's dreams against them.
Yeah, definitely.
So, and I still feel that and not only that, I don't believe that you can be partaking in all of those substances and people are not sober and everyone is able to consent. I just don't believe that's possible. I think that there gets up to a point where people are not of sound mind and able to consent when you're doing, especially those type of substances.
Yeah.
Now he could probably argue that I was in the same position. We were all unable to consent. The law is very gray on that. So I don't know.
Huh. Well, this has been a very robust conversation, as always. I still don't. Does anybody else have any Real Housewife of Atlanta? Anything? I do love Shamea. Not mad at Kelly. We'll see about Britt. I'm sorry, but it did look a little like the aunties v the nieces, or at least not even v. It's not
but
even.
Who are the nieces? They're
well, according to the cutouts, it's Britt, Kelly, and it's just I'm just going by the cutouts. That's all I'm going by. But so then we have the OOGs, which is Ken and Cynthia. And oh my gosh, wasn't it? I've never really been checking for Ken because I feel like she's another inauthentic person that does too much. And I would love to see what people say is really her personality. Is she's wonderful, she's sweet, she give you the shirt off. I would have loved to see that person. I didn't need all this that she gave us. And now it got her off the show. So that shows you that I was right. But how about them like literally cutting her out of so much and only showing like that one scene really with Britt? And then, no, she had three things. The scene where she was cold towards Britt, where Britt asked him for a hug, and where she talked to Cynthia. That was pretty much it.
I think, she either talked to Drew or Cynthia, right? She talked to Drew. But
they sat down over there and talked.
Y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. Kenya was not charged with any type of crime, which leads me to believe that the show just decided to go in a different direction and use this as an excuse. Mm-hmm. Because if Kenya had actually committed a crime, she would have been charged with one. They use this as an excuse because, in my opinion, they only brought Cynthia back to usher in the new girls, and they had no intentions of keeping them and having them be full-time housewives. I think they were led on to believe something that was not true.
So, because you know what, I had one thing. I agree with you, Callie. I do. I had one that I was thinking about this. I watched this show and I enjoyed it, but then I was just thinking about it as I watched it a couple of times, and I want to ask y'all this because I'm not a producer, and I know it's controversial. So Candy was not coming back. Okay, we got that. But what if, even though the new girls are okay, but what if Porsha came back and Candy was gone? That meant that Porsha had to deal with Marlo. That Kenya was still there. I would have, and Sanya, who I enjoyed, her and her husband and all that.
I wish she would have come back.
If they didn't bring in all the new ladies, and they would have just brought Porsha back to the ladies that we kind of got used to, and that was just, and Sheree too. Those, and with adding Porsha, I don't know. I think that would have been fire for me because they were just starting to get warm together. Candy wasn't my favorite. I don't dislike her. I love her as a Black woman, a businesswoman, but she wasn't always very compelling on the TV. She wasn't going to be there with Phaedra, Porsha, and those ladies without Candy. That would have been insane because there would have been some unresolved things that they all had to work out. It would have been insane bananas, and I don't know why that could have been very volatile, very physical, probably. But it would have been a hot
bananas flambe, Mel.
It would have been hot. It would have been absolutely because you know what? Because remember, Sanya wasn't really feeling Miss Drew. Okay, and then Drew had some issue with her family, so they were just cooking. And I still want to see Sheree and her fashions and Tyrone, and I like Sheree. So listen, it would have been unbelievable. So that
Sanya went from not wanting any kids to she on her second baby since she
got on now, and I'm happy for her. She got business and everything. And she's married in a happy marriage. So I've seen all the reviews, and I said, why nobody even bring up the fact that the show was good last year? We just need an extra ingredient, and that ingredient would have been Porsha and Phaedra. We didn't. That's my opinion. If they would have just left it the way it was, they were just cooking. They were getting used to each other. Kept all the ladies there with all that toxicity, and then added Porsha and Phaedra. Oh my God! Whoa! It would have been crazy.
Oh, can I say? Even though I'm watching the season for Porsha this season, but the show is not the same without Candy. I believe that the show would be even better if they had both of them on the show. If they had Candy and Porsha on the same show, that would be even better. But the show is not the same without Candy. I'm a big fan of Candy Burrs, and I support her on anything she does. So the show is not the same without Candy. But Porsha will carry the show by herself if she has to. That's just my opinion. But I do think the show would be better if Candy would come back.
Okay.
Well, I do think that as far as the businesses and the plays and all of these things and Mama Joyce, Candy did bring something to the show. But from what I'm hearing via Sheree, they did not want to pay them.
Oh,
and that's why those people are not back.
Well, now, Callie, so now that again, so why are the people that are so dynamic and compelling, our divas now, why do you think that Bravo don't want to invest in the women that we love?
Well, that's what Nene was trying to tell us.
Oh, yes,
we never find out.
Absolutely.
Nene, that was part of Nene's point.
Yeah.
Was the treatment of the melanated cast was far subpar to the other people.
Okay.
And that's when Candy Cruz went and got herself a deal. And that's when Porsha came back and was protesting George Floyd, and we didn't have Nene anymore. So there's that.
Okay. Yeah. Damn.
Well, a lot of Cynthia and Crystal, and there's a couple of other podcasts out there where they give a lot of the behind the scenes stuff.
Oh, really? They do BTS on the Crystal Cynthia one. Is it good? I haven't heard it. Have you heard it?
That is why I'm looking at these shows with very, very different eyes, because a lot of this stuff is set up by the producers, like a lot of it.
Yeah.
And a lot of these people either do or don't already know each other. Like, it can happen both ways. You can have people that are complete strangers that don't know each other at all, and they go on the show and have them be assigned to be friends. And you can
like how Porsha brought in Fallon,
but are brought on by another person and pretend like they don't know each other.
Right.
So it's a lot of this stuff is sort of set up by production. You would be shocked at the way that these shows actually work. And I honestly think that Bravo probably should have shut Crystal and Cynthia down. But I think that because the podcast isn't real popular, they don't feel threatened, because they kind of have ruined the show for me after they started telling me how all this stuff is set up.
I gotta watch their show. I gotta see what they talking about.
Because there's no way I believe that this Drew and Dennis thing is real. I honestly think that the producers have their ear to social media, and they said what they want to see is Porsha be punished and held accountable. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to bring Dennis back, and we're going to create some scenario with him sort of flirting with Drew, and we don't know if they're dating or not. And then Brittany, we want you to go and ask Porsha why she was dating that married man and married that married man, because this is what they want to see on social media. And Porsha
Kelly was like, I'll do it.
Yeah, and then Porsha knows what's going on as well, because she's been on the show so long. And she's like, okay, I'll play along if that's what the fans want to see. If that's going to keep the show on the air, sure.
You see now,
and I honestly think that all of this is orchestrated.
Okay.
You know,
see that. Yeah, I was gonna say that Drew situation. That one got me. So again, somebody missed this. I love you brought that up. Somebody missed this part too. So why is my juices getting all excited? Because listen, when I was thinking about with Drew, girl, when you play with Porsha, you play with fire. The simple fact is, nobody brought this up yet. But if you're gonna work with Porsha's, baby daddy, why do you think mid-season trailer? I can feel it in my bones. You're gonna see Porsha on a date with Ralph. I just feel like that she might get that messy. I feel like
I think Ralph left the show.
You don't think he's gonna come back in? Because I heard his voice in the.
That would be a good twist. That would be a very good twist. I would laugh my butt off.
Because I feel that's. I feel like
pop up and be on a date with Porsha.
I mean,
that would be hilarious.
Well, you know what? The Callie, it won't. She don't want to be ruined by the fans. She'll be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go and have a conversation. It'll be a secret conversation, and they'll be sitting down. Tell me your side of the relationship." Now, you say what? Drew was cheating, and she got all these lovers, and I feel Porsha will end up teaming up with Ralph this season in mid-season trailer. That's what some people are missing. That's what I feel. I feel they want to just get it crazy. And then Porsha will end up talking to or bringing him on the show or pulling the Giselle somehow. and going over there to get dirt. I really do feel like she's gonna mess with Ralph. I feel Porsha because she don't got nobody this year, no man, because she's getting divorced and everything going with her baby dad. I think she's gonna start playing with Ralph as far as the storyline.
If Ralph is willing to film, I could see them doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like Cynthia, for example, Cynthia barely knew Peter when the show started. Like she literally had just met him and moved in with him so she could be on the show.
Right.
She moved her daughter from another state to move in with this man that she knew for like 2 months, just so she could try to be on the show. She did not know Nene. Nene was really uncomfortable with this, like faking to know, like being friends with someone. So that's why Cynthia had to literally follow her around and try to like pick with her and get her to film with her, because Nene was not feeling this pretending to be friends with this woman from New York that I don't know. And we all know Kenya did not live in Atlanta.
Right. Oh Lord. And that's what she came on
there to film.
And with Walter too. And that was not, now we're not talking about Potomac, but I actually enjoyed the Potomac reunion so much. But I was thinking Stacey's so beautiful. I said, Stacey, you're not Kenya because you tried to do what Kenya did the first season, which is try to build a friendship with people you don't know and say that I'm a beautiful woman, I'm a beautiful lady, I should say, that is having a difficulty with a man who we don't know his sexuality. Now that man must be straight. I don't got no issues. I don't know that man. But that was the same storyline Kenya had with Walter. Is he straight? Is he gay? Why he don't want to make love to me? So then when she got exposed, so that when you brought up Kenya, I said, yeah, that was Kid. So I think Stacey was trying to be a baby Kenya. It blew up in her face, but it worked for Kenya because Kenya's smart. You really can't really expose Kenya really. That's why this thing was a shocker this year, where she kind of, she does stunts, and this one got her in her backside, unfortunately. But Kenya's very smart because she's done a lot of stuff.
That's why they got rid of Kenya. I think they got rid of Kenya because the plan was always to phase her out. I think that they were using her and Cynthia to usher in the new girls, and when they were going to edit this show, they were not going to be peach holders. That's what I think. I think
I never thought about that.
I really do. I think that they were using them to get the audience used to the new, cheaper people.
The cheaper, okay.
And I don't think they ever had any intentions of Kenya really, because they don't find out if they actually have a peach until the show is edited. So
and
I think
you know what?
I think they said, well, Kenya's done this. This is our way to exit her and explain it to the audience versus her just disappearing, going to the bathroom and never coming back.
You know what, I believe you with this.
That can happen.
So I believe Callie, because Kenya has been Kenya been tweeting and Instagramming like she has never been. And I feel like she told Tamra and other interviewers that yes, she had an issue this year and she had to leave the trips and things, but she was going to be featured with, peaches, and she was going to have all this stuff. And she was shocked based on this week's her social media that she didn't get the treatment that she felt she deserved, which is peaches and all that. And maybe, maybe she had a peach in her hand with some photo shoot at one point, and maybe she did confessionals. But like you said, maybe they just kind of put that on the cutting room floor because she has been very hurt in her social media. That it's been almost obsessive right now on her social media about the show.
No, I think she was led to believe that she would be a peach holder, and I don't think the intention ever was for her to be one. I think they used her and Cynthia to sort of warm the audience up to this new group of girls.
They got a tiger milk too.
And I don't know why Drew is there. It could be the same thing. Drew could start fading to the back after
tie-iced tea.
Would shock me.
I love tie-iced tea. I want to tie.
But no, I don't think that's why she needs to let go. Because she was not charged with the crime.
No boba. Tie-iced tea. Oh, sorry. I'm getting a boba drink with my son.
Yeah.
Well, this is good. I agree.
I really think that if Kenya had taken some photos that a man gave her of Brittany and did that, I think there would have been at least a lawsuit. At least
he has a lawsuit. I don't know what you're talking. I thought Britt put a lawsuit to her, and there was a lawsuit filed for it. Well, there was not.
Heard anything more about it?
Let me see. I haven't heard anything more about it.
But
either.
I don't know what the law is in that state as far as like revenge P or whatever. But in my opinion, If there's no criminal charges, then that's not what happened. They just used that as an excuse to get her off the show and go in a different direction.
Okay, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to put this as nice as possible. I don't see Kenya and Cynthia hanging out with these people. I barely see Shamea hanging out with people. I could these people are like the Mias of the world. This is just a different type of woman. This is not a Miss USA. This is not an actual working model that worked for 25 years in high fashion.
Mia said
That is not who these people are.
It's funny you said that. Mia said she loved the lady. She said, I want to be in Atlanta. She's been on her social media saying, why am I not in Atlanta? So what you said, because Mia said she loved Kelly. She loved Britt Edie. Britt Edie and her look like they cousins or something. They tall and, you know, I'm like, okay, Mia, but you right about that. Mia loved these ladies. She said, I love them. She was having a good time at her home watching this show on Sunday. So I was like, okay, Mia.
Yeah, Mel, I know you weren't here when I first got up here, but what I said is that these women have a very adult industry look and vibe.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The only way I can put it, and I don't see Cynthia or Kenya hanging out with these people. I see them more hanging out with the ladies on Beverly Hills sometimes. Honestly, I think if Cynthia had the money or if she could pull a rich boyfriend, I think they would put her on Beverly Hills in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
I think they like her over there. She fits in over there. I just think she does.
I wouldn't want Cynthia over there. She's boring here. She'll be boring in Beverly Hills. I don't need her anywhere. She has great cheekbones. I don't have to have her anything. She could be a friend. She could pop up and visit Garcelle or Kyle. I think Kyle and Kathy know each other. But I don't need her trying to get a diamond. That's not.
I was thinking more of a friend of, yeah.
No, see now,
if she would have a diamond is if tomorrow Cynthia announced that she was marrying a billionaire.
Right.
I'd have to see that. I'm sorry, I would have to see that.
But I know she was dating one too. I think in one of her, some interview she said that she was
some young boy.
Okay,
she's
but
that DJ. Yeah.
No, I think last year she said that maybe she was hit on. I should say somebody had approached her who was a nice gentleman who happened to have a lot of money. And in one of her interviews, she said that before this. But I enjoy Cynthia on Big Brother because when she was having somebody from Different Strokes, she was going back and forth with that man from Different Strokes. I said, where has this Cynthia been at? She took no prisoners. So I actually need her on Traders too. But yeah, Cynthia definitely.
When she did that, it reminded me of what Nene said. There was a whole other side to Cynthia, remember? But Bianca, I said that initially, girl. Look, Bianca's statement. Mia and Kelly resemble each other. I said I'm not Kelly. I think Mia and Britt resemble each other. I think it's Britt, Edie, and Mia are giving me the same vibes. But I can see that you say that it's Kelly also. But not as much as.
So these are all moms.
It's the look of the nose job that's way too small and the rest of the face plumped up with fillers.
Yeah.
And it's the hard implants.
It's given.
It's that look.
So, like you said, I want to keep it respectful too, especially because I love all these ladies and their mothers. But I understand what you're saying, Cal. It's given an OnlyFans model, basically.
Yes, blow up.
OnlyFans. And OnlyFans is not the new thing anymore. Like that stuff, like 10 years ago, when all of this stuff started popping. And people would go on YouTube and watch makeup tutorials and watch people put on lace fronts and all of this stuff. I feel like these women are stuck in that era when lip fillers were some newfangled thing that no one had heard of before. And it was, oh, wow, that's how your lips got that big. But
yeah, like grew last night.
Like, really? We still doing this? You know what I mean? It's I can see it because I already saw it happen in the late 90s. That this is like a look that's on its way out.
Yeah, I feel like you're right. There's going to be, I don't know that it's so much, well, no, skinny is also it, but I feel like strong is the new sexy.
Yeah, athletic.
Yeah. And I don't you don't see a lot of gym people like with all the extra fillers. Like, Yeah, because it adds ounces to the scale. No, I don't know why. I don't know why. But anyway, you guys, you heard my kids. We got boba.
All right, go ahead.
I love you guys. I appreciate you. Mel,
Yeah.
Callie, Dustin, thanks for coming up. Freddie was up here. Allie from Miami. Bianca Q, Mademoiselle, one who cares popped in. Who else was in here? Not too many more people, but there were some people in the bushes. I see y'all. Thanks for coming through. Smash the buttons, y'all. Ring the bell so you can get notified. Thanks for coming up. Should we do another WTF in politics, Mel?
Yes.
Yes.
I had to email. Oh, it doesn't say yes. Too good. So we got to do. I had to email you what day you have available.
Okay, so are you thinking like we could do it like this Sunday again? I don't know. Does Sunday or Saturday work?
I think it does, but I'm gonna email you just to be sure.
Okay, because I'm thinking so far Sunday early for me.
Okay,
but we'll see about it.
What time on Sunday?
We don't know yet. We're gonna see about it, and I'll let you guys know. So be sure you have your bell rung because our what in politics segment is really lively, you guys.
I'm gonna have to listen because it's stressing me out so much. I can't take it.
Right. But thank you guys for coming up. This has been an excellent conversation.
Yeah,
Callie Nola has a channel. Mel needs a channel. Dustin is on channels. Thank you guys for coming through. There's enough to go around, so go get some, everybody. I'll see you in the next video.
All right. Have a good night. Okay.
Peace.